Hi, Yuli. I'm super happy to have you on another episode of the Baddie and Me. How are you doing today?
Hey Jesse, doing well. It's sunny outside, so sun always brings me good vibes and good energy. What about you? Is it cold?
Yeah, it's still cold, but it's also sunny. So I'm really happy. And I'm also more happy because I'm getting to chat with you. I've been following you for a while on X. And I love your vibe. I love your femininity. I love that you're really positive and supportive. And I really wanted to have this like small chat with you. I want to know who Yuli was before crypto.
I was so many things. Right now, it even feels like it was I don't know, like in the past life, because I've been in this space since early 2021. It's been 5 years now. But yeah, before I was a translator. It was my first job, I think, when I was like 20 years old. And then I was even a marriage consultant. I had two couples married within 1 year. Amazing romantic stories. What else? I was casting manager, choosing models for a French luxury brand, and back in Ukraine, in Kiev. I was a model myself a little bit. I was acting ads, some TV episodes, TV show that I'm not really proud of, but it was a lot of fun.
That's so crazy. Like you've done like so many jobs that are quite different. I really love the wedding marriage thing. I think it's like really random
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I really love it. But also like I'm not surprised that you were like a model. You're so beautiful. I think that's also one of the things why, people notice you online. You're really, really pretty. But okay, so you did all of these things, but like how did you start creating content? Like why and when?
I don't even know. It's just like I would say maybe I was a content creator since I was a kid. Even when we didn't really have even like a video camera when I was small. So my dad used to just like record my voice since like I was 2, 3 months maybe old. And I was just like making, different weird sounds and singing. I started singing probably when I started talking. And so then I went to school. I was always like, the headliner on those like school concerts, and then more like regional concerts and stuff. And then university, I was always like, emceeing on stage and singing and hosting events and just doing a bunch of different things. So I was always creating content in different ways. I was writing poetry since like I was 10 years old probably, and so I was also participating a lot in different like poetic events and reading my poetry, other people's poetry, again like singing. And so then it was kind of natural for me when I joined crypto space. It was kind of natural for me to just like keep going with content creation. And especially when I joined, there were like so many ambassador programs, and I had no idea like what was all that. I didn't know much about blockchain or, technical analysis or trading, but I knew how to make content. I thought so. And then, yeah, it just like I just kept going, kept doing it. I started by just translating things from English to Ukrainian, Russian, and vice versa. And then content became a bigger and bigger part of my life.
Yeah, so you've always been kind of like, a showgirl kind of. I really like that you've been
Yeah,
like
you could say
emceeing and
so.
singing. You really have the profile of an entertainer kind of. You should probably MC some crypto events. I don't know if you've ever done it, but I would totally see you doing it.
I haven't even thought about it, to be honest.
That would be really fun. I think there's a lot of people and there's a lot of roles and always people looking for, charismatic people to MC their events because it's not like not everyone can do that. You need to be like, outgoing
Yeah,
and,
true. Maybe a
speak
bit
well.
hyper sometimes, like your energy.
Exactly. Speaking about that, I wanted to ask you because you mentioned it just before. What kind of shows?
Some, like TV series, TV episodes. There were like a couple of medical series. There was one time I was a patient, and another one I was just like a visitor. Just a bunch of different roles and some ads as well. So it was just so fun back
That's
then.
so cool. And that was
Before
back in your home country, right?
yeah. And right before COVID hit, because with COVID, a lot of things have changed. And then I just realized that like the industry, is pretty sensitive to these kind of things. And so if I wanted to have some kind of job, I had to be open to all the different options to experiment. I even had probably a year, like a period of time when I was just like freelancing songwriting, mostly lyrics. But yeah, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like huge money. Maybe I could earn like 1K per month, but it was already amazing, especially for my home country. So
Totally. And I love your flexibility and how you've been able, to always adapt to situations because, like, not everyone can do that. And I think that this is really courageous from you. And so I want to come to your content
mhm.
creation because, like, obviously, there's a lot of content creators now in crypto. You're one of them, I'm one of them. And I want to know, like, what kind of like content do you usually do when it comes to creating with brands? Do you accept like any kind of deal or is there like some topic that you like to focus on?
God, of course, I don't accept every kind of deal. Like, first of all, there are so many, just like creepy, shady accounts writing you, promising gold mountains. I don't know if you promote their casino, for example. To me, I don't know. So far, if nothing changes in my mental compass and my moral compass, and I don't think it would change, I just would never feel comfortable like actually promoting any type of casino and stuff like that, or actually like actively promoting a meme coin. I just don't see myself doing that. I'm not against people who are doing that. It's just not my lane. So to me, that's something I would never feel comfortable with. I'm taking deals that I am comfortable with. I'm taking deals that are from projects that are legit, especially if we have common connections. I always check on that because if there are no common connections, it's a no go for me. And of course, the more you grow, the more people you know, the more common connections and opportunities you open for yourself. But when you're just like, I don't know, when you're 2K followers and you still don't really know people in the space, it's probably, I mean, it's not probably, it's way harder to filter all that and to actually know who's approaching you and if they are like worthy of your time. And also, if you're like really small, you got to be ready to show yourself, to prove yourself, to even sometimes work for free. But then I think as you grow and as you cross certain milestones, as you achieve your goals and you show like you create a lot of content that is already out there, then I think it's not cool if projects still want you to prove yourself and work for free. I don't think this is a good deal.
Totally. And I love what you're saying because I think there's like sometimes some imbalance in the creator space because you start small, right? And then, they see you creating content and a lot of brands will propose like bigger deals, which I think is great because they see you growing,
Yeah.
obviously. But sometimes there's some of them who approach you and offer you like the minimum,
Yes.
amount
Yes.
of money. And sometimes I wonder, like, how do they think, Do they believe that creators will accept anything? Because it takes time. It's also your followers. Like, it took you a lot of time to build your credibility, your online
Mhm.
audience. And sometimes I wonder, like, what are they thinking? It's so
Yeah.
crazy.
I don't know. I don't know. Even sometimes comparing to now, I communicate with many other creators, female and male. And sometimes I feel like even there can be an imbalance if you're a woman content creator. Just you can be undervalued, underestimated a lot of times, or even underpaid. I saw examples of that, and it just not really cool.
I love that you're bringing that up because I saw a big account post about that I think it was a few weeks or months ago.
Mhm.
It's a girl, but I tried to find some data because I was interested. I wanted to collect data. Like, can we find some numbers
Mhm.
how male creators are
Mhm.
paid compared to female, but I couldn't really find. I know that the bigger picture in crypto, they are paid better than us, but obviously I don't think it happens all the time, but mostly. But it would be really interesting to find like data and have like an
Yeah.
Excel.
Yeah. I would be interested to see that myself, but I think there is a difference. And also, as a woman, you oftentimes face with some, inappropriate comments, especially from other men. Like I posted about this, I talked about this on Spaces before. There was a project. I will never, of course, name any names, but I was working with them, helping on the marketing side. I was not creating content for them, just behind the scenes. And so we had a group chat with like founder, and then a guy he hired from another like marketing agency. So the guy was technically like we were supposed to collaborate, but he maybe see me as a opponent, I don't know, as a competitor. There was just something off in communication all the time. The last drop was when he like started writing very inappropriate comments in the group chat with the founder. Just some things I can't even like name what he wrote, but he was certainly joking about me being his fifth wife and stuff worse than that, obviously. And I just like after that, I said it's very inappropriate. He told me that I probably don't understand jokes. And I just like laughed. I blocked him everywhere. He then like tried to apologize and everything, but this is just a no go. This is so
Yeah.
unprofessional.
But you know what? I love also that you're bringing that up because it happens so often in this industry. And every time women try to bring it up, it's never the men's fault. It's always the woman's fault.
Yeah,
She doesn't get a
unfortunately.
joke or, she's like too crazy, too something. And I think that it's important to talk about it. And I think it's important to do exactly what you did, block the person, walk away,
Yes,
and
do
have
not
your like,
tolerate that.
no,
Yes.
because I think sometimes we all want to succeed, right? And sometimes you're like, okay, maybe if I just let it go, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
I'm going to be part of the gang.
Yeah,
And actually, like, do you really want to be part of this kind of gang? Like, I'm like, no, I'm too old
exactly.
for that shit. Like, I don't know. And
You should say I'm too good for that shit.
oh, yeah. And I'm also too good. But I feel like as women, the older you grow, the more you understand like your value. And then
Yeah.
you understand you're too good for that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm sorry that it happened to you, but it's good that you walked away. I'm really proud of you. But also, how did you start getting deals? Because I think that this is also a very opaque thing in crypto. Like
Mhm.
people don't necessarily know like how you get your first deal. Of course, there's like all these like creator programs that are quite new, I think. Like there wasn't that many before.
Yeah, I think so.
Did you get approached or did you start DMing people?
Yeah, I was usually approached because I don't know, I just started putting myself out there. Like I was doxxed, for example, since day one. And then when I started like more actively creating content, actually, posting more videos, posting more deep knowledge stuff, people started approaching me. And I didn't actually, what would help me or what usually helps is going to real life events. I didn't go to like too many, a few, but even those few did me a great deal. And I met so many wonderful people. And then it's like word of mouth, as well. If you recommend yourself well, if you're well spoken, polite, kind, then people will also recommend you to other people. And of course, like before getting any paid deals, of course, I had to prove myself as well. I had to create content for the future opportunities, and with the hope that it will work out. But yeah, I mean, it's just like there's never, right or wrong path in this. The only thing you should do is as everybody is saying, staying consistent and putting yourself out there and like do not overthink. So just create, share, and people will approach you. Of course, like you can approach people as well, but you should be ready if, for example, you don't have your portfolio yet or you don't have enough things to show and you already started approaching people, then you should be ready that you will be rejected many times because everybody wants to see results. Everybody wants to see, it's not always about metrics. Some projects want metrics like vanity, numbers. Some projects want to just see your high quality content. Some projects are approaching you just because if you're in your personal brand. It's always different. But yeah, you just have to have something to show. So whether they approach you or whether you approach them, you have to have something to bring value.
Yeah, totally. I like what you said that each project can approach you for a different reason. There's the personal brand that is like really important. Someone who doesn't create like that many videos but has like a huge personal brand online can be approached. And also, I think that it's important for creators to not farm engagement too
Yes,
much because, I noticed that brands notice it immediately if you're
they
trying
do.
to farm engagement. They don't necessarily want to work with people who have like fake engagement. I think it's even better to have like smaller audience with real engagement rates and like stable impressions than like start and, try to farm engagement just to look like a bigger account.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. But still, like, I hope this will change. But I remember when I was working with one of the marketing agencies, and I was also for some time a KOL manager. So I knew all the, like, I got to know all the behind the scenes. And it was pretty frustrating sometimes when I saw, for example, a big KOL that is like engagement farmer, and just like those are, whether like bots or just his posts do not bring any value, or it just, I don't know, it's not high quality, and projects would still want to work with them even though they knew that those numbers are not necessarily all true and organic, but just because again of this vanity metrics, then later the agency would pack beautifully and show that we have reached like this milestone and we have millions and millions of like, impressions and followers and everything. So, but I do see that recently things started to change, and especially when X algorithms and rules. So now engagement farmers are like chronicle GMers. They are not gonna make it. We can already see a proof of that.
Yeah, yeah. The algorithm changes so fast. And I think like I can spot a farmer from like far away. And I mean, they can do whatever. It's fine. But I feel like at the moment, there's more farmers than like real people, like real creators on the timeline.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you can occasionally hop on some funny trend and like engagement farm for a little bit, but not like in every single post every day. Yeah,
Exactly. Not all the time.
yeah.
I also wanted to ask you, now is like the AI boom. Everyone's using AI to automate their work and, there's like Cloudbot and whatever.
Mhm.
Do you use AI as a creator to create your scripts or to automate your work in a daily basis?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do use AI and I'm learning more and more. And I don't even want to say like I'm pivoting to AI, but I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about creating more and more content around AI specifically, because this is something that is interesting for me personally, very much, especially AI video creation and AI music production. There are just so many things that you can do with AI that you couldn't do before yourself. You would need a team, a huge budget, and right now you can just like do so many things with minimum budget and just, just yourself using your laptop in your room. So that's incredible. And of course, like I would say that it's both, both empowering and kind of like scary with everything that's going on. And I would say that a person who says that, a creator that is like, I'm not afraid of, AI at all, or like I'm not scared of that. I would say that I feel like it's a little bit untrue, because I think we all have a little bit of like tension. What happens? What if I don't fully, if I don't open my potential, if I don't use my potential to like 100%, what's gonna happen? Or if I don't automate everything that I should, or what if what if I fall behind? All these kind of fears. And I don't know, it depends on how you see that. It's not that AI is just like going to take your job, of course, depending on what your job is. but it's about your willingness to adapt. It's about your skills, your personal skills, and it's about your personal brand as well. For example, I would say that if you already have a personal brand in this AI boom era, then you should be fine because people love you for who you are, and then you can just like use AI to empower yourself. But if you just start growing, this is of course way more challenging because there are, newly created AI influencers on Instagram, let's say, that grow in like a couple of weeks. There's a perfect girl with perfect skin and perfect body that's already got like hundreds and hundreds, thousands of followers. So, of course, you can't keep up with that, and you don't have to. You just have to find something you're really interested in, and just evolve in that. And again, use AI to just like use your potential instead of just like give it up and say AI is gonna take my job. Like, I'm scared.
Yeah, and actually, there's two things that I've noticed in AI, especially when it comes to content creators. I think there's like this boom of, as you said, this like totally AI creators on Instagram and TikTok. They look like perfect, almost
Yeah.
like you wouldn't know the difference. But I also noticed that a lot of people want to see more authenticity
Hmm.
and are looking for like more authentic content. So basically, even for creators that don't over edit their videos, just like people take their phone and just like record something like before Instagram stories, 2015, 16, something like that. So it's really interesting because I feel like we're in between and I'm not sure like which direction is the world going to take
Mm.
first. Are we going to first come back to authenticity and then go back to, pure AI replicas and everyone's going to have, their AI doing their job for them, which I think as a content creator, maybe at some point it would be nice because it's very tiring to be online because
Yes.
you need to consume a lot of content that makes like maybe 80% of your energy. And then you have 20% left to create your own. It's so hard,
It
right?
is hard, yeah. And as a woman, you have to put your makeup on and get your hair done and always like try to look your best. And yeah, there's just so many things. But yeah, your
Exactly.
your your avatar could just always look perfect and never get tired, never get sick, never get burned out, never get depressed. That's amazing.
Exactly, because that's one point. Also, as a content creator,
Mhm.
I don't know if it happens to you, but like, especially in crypto, because I feel like we all live in like different countries and we're a bit like isolated from each
Yeah.
other. So it's like working alone a lot. And for me, it's like a yo yo. My mood goes up and down, up and down. And I'm like, when is this going to end?
This is never gonna end. This is never gonna end, I'm telling you. At least I can feel that like some days, I'm on top of the world, like I'm the queen, like fuck yeah. The other days I'm just like I'm nothing. I'm nothing. I did nothing. What am I going to do in my life? So it's always gonna be like up and down, up and down. And yeah, after in general, like after COVID, people started getting more lonely because everybody started working remotely, or not everybody, but most of people. And in this industry, it's like even more culturally not like appropriate, but set, so it's like set in stone that usually it's a remote work. So then the only opportunity for people is like real life events, but like they are in different countries. Some of them are free, some are expensive, especially the ones that are more popular, they are, of course, more expensive. And then if you want to grab those opportunities, you would have to have a solid budget set aside just for that. And then it's like never guaranteed as well if you spend that money and if you go there that you will actually meet, the right people or you will have your deal or whatever. So it is challenging industry we're working in. So
Exactly. And especially now when times are uncertain, I feel like this year is going to be really hard for IRL events.
yeah,
For example, I'm going to Cannes in like a month. It used to be like
maybe.
half of CT goes to ETC, and now I haven't heard like that many people going. And Dubai, like, are people really going to travel to Token? I don't know with the situation. It
Yeah.
feels like dangerous and no one has money anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like so I don't want to say funny, like don't get me wrong. It just I maybe, I developed some sense of dark humor with all the shit that I've been through. It's just everybody was saying like 2026, it's gonna be my year. It's gonna be such a great year. And just like whenever I heard that, I was like, guys, like, calm down, relax. Let's not like set huge expectations, because me personally, I don't like setting, big expectations for myself, because I'm getting just frustrated, like just like this, in a second. So I didn't want that. And everybody was like, yeah, this is gonna be the year, yeah, the horse, let's go. And now each month something awful is happening, and I'm like, that's gonna be a year. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's see.
exactly. I thought about that a lot, but
What's next? Like
actually,
aliens, dinosaurs? I don't know.
I don't know what's going to be the next thing that's going to happen to us, but every month there's something new and it keeps getting worse.
Yeah.
But I've also read that the year of the horse is going to be very chaotic and we have to be ready to be flexible and adapt. But sometimes I feel like it's very hard. We
It is.
are living in a generation where everything is fucked up and everything is normalized as well because of social media. So I don't know. It's just like really, really
It's
hard.
just normal to have everything fucked up.
It's becoming the new normal, that's for sure. But also, I think that you said that you don't travel to so many events and like everyone else, you're also a bit isolated, but you do have a boyfriend that's also on CT. And
Yeah.
you announced it like, was it a couple of months ago?
Yeah.
He's like
Yeah.
on
Yeah. Yeah.
abstract as well, or abstract chain or whatever. And some people thought it was a marketing thing. I was like, what? I didn't know at first. I was like, is it true or not? But then I was like, yeah, it must be true.
It's 100% true. And I can say right now, he's the love of my life, all right? He's the love of my life. And I'm so happy. And it happened, yeah, thanks to Abstract, because I started streaming on Abstract like in this late spring last year. And so he was one of the first people who hopped on my live streams, and we just started, chatting. And no, we didn't start chatting right away. Like there's this whole story, but so thanks to Abstract, we met, and yeah, we've been together since July last year. I announced it a little bit later, but yeah.
That's so cute. I really love it. I think it's like the cutest love story of Twitter, crypto Twitter.
I mean, it's definitely, it was unexpected for me, because I planned hot girl summer, hot single girl summer for myself. And I was like at the point when I just wanted to give up on relationship for some time, because as I was in the marriage industry and dating industry before, of course, used different like platforms, apps. I went on so many dates, and just like at the end of the day, I was pretty frustrated.
I
So
understand.
yeah.
But you know what? Sometimes when you're with the right person, I feel like having summer with your boyfriend is cooler than like hot girl summer. Cause like the person who really loves you makes you feel like the hottest girl on earth and you feel so safe. And it's so nice, to go out and have fun with your best friend and lover. So I just wish you all the best. And I think it's so cute. And also he's French, right?
Yeah.
Do you speak French now? Can you say a few things in French?
Je parlais français un petit peu.
Yeah, it's really good.
I understand a lot more now. I'm like a dog, I say, I understand, but I don't really speak.
Okay, for example, if I would ask you, Yuli, est-ce que tu aimes les frites? Do you understand what I asked you?
Well, you asked me if I love fries, if I
Yeah.
like fries.
Yes, I love it. I hope that one day we get to eat fries together.
Let's go. Let's go.
And okay, before we start like wrapping up, I think that your content and everything you do is always like high quality.
Yeah.
And you're always like, even right now, like, I think like there's too much going on in my background. My light is too bright. Like, what do you use? What's your setup as a creator?
Oh yeah, right now it's like it's not the setup of my dream, not yet, because we're in France temporarily. Then in April we're moving to Asia for a few months. So I know it's gonna be, all over the place. And before I didn't have a perfect setup. You don't need like a perfect setup. It's just like you use what you have. But the only thing is that right now I'm happy that I have iPhone 17 Pro Max, which is my camera right now. I'm using it as my camera for live streams. And I film a lot of my content just using iPhone. And then I have two softbox lights, which are really helpful. And then just a bunch of like, these colorful lights as well, just helpful for different live streams. But just for people who don't have like pretty much anything, I would say you can always use, if you're lucky to have sun outside, you can always use natural light, or just even if it's cloudy, to film yourself closer to the window at least, so there's some kind of natural light once again. um and just use whatever phone you have, whatever camera you have. You will of course upgrade as you grow, so I wouldn't be worried about quality that much, because for example, I know some creators, they just film simplest kind of videos, but they are just so creative and captivating right away. They know how to create right hooks and how to, hold your energy hold your attention on their video, on their content, that is just working perfectly fine. So it's not even about your setup. It doesn't have to be perfect. But one day I hope I will have a nice studio, of course.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like you can start with like anything you have. But I think especially when you're recording for like now podcasts or live stream, for example, I think that I just have a small ring light. It's
Hmm.
this size, and the light just comes like so much on my face. I've been thinking of buying like these soft boxes because I think it looks like much more natural and it brings like light to both sides of the
Yeah,
face.
yeah, yeah.
So it makes it
I
look
like
more
it.
natural. So
And
probably.
it's not even expensive. So yeah, I would say soft boxes is a really cool thing to have.
Thank you so much for your time. I really love talking with you. I love how bubbly you are, and
Thank
it's
you, Jessie. Same,
thank you,
same. I love your energy. Thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me.
and see you later.
You have a nice day.
I don't know what